Okay, so like kind of what we first do is we first create a new project. So let's call this patient flow. And now we can head up to tools and do online search. And let's type in patient flow here. And it's in quotations. And along the right hand side are hints for like how to actually search it. So we as well could even go only search in the title and the abstract. And we're searching PubMed here, and we have like PubMed, Central, IEEE, patents, and other ones. So if we go search, we found 1600 results. We'll click on OK for just showing them. So right now it's pulling in them. And once they're like kind of actually showing here, we then can choose to import them into synthesis if it's actually what we want. We as well can kind of open up them, and then we can just read the abstract, like kind of just make sure. So we would click on import into synthesis, and then while it's importing, it's actually checking to see whether we already have the reference or if there's any of the same reference. So then we go OK, and now we then go return to synthesis, and we have them all here. So we can expand the title, and then if we click on these, we then can actually see them in the abstract. Synthesis will actually highlight certain basically keywords, so that at that point we can see whether we're looking into the background section, the methods, or the results. The real power with synthesis is actually its search. So if we were to only look at intensive care, we find that there's 60 or there's 57 references here. We as well can kind of do a word cloud to actually basically see like kind of like what are they mainly talking about in either the titles or in the abstracts as well. And we can kind of change the word count or word frequency. We as well can hit topic clustering, which is a more advanced computer science way of in fact actually trying to see like what are the major topics in this literature. So here you see simulation models, level 1 trauma. So if we were to go on simulation models, and then would actually have that as part of our search, and then it only shows us those 10. So we'll just kind of clear that topic. One more thing that can happen is we can then tag these rows. So if we kind of create a new column and call it ward, and under value on match, we can go ICU. So now it's actually kind of created this column, it's thrown in and the ICU there. We as well could type in, let's say, ED. And if we wanted to actually limit it to the title, we then would actually just go title and colon, and then there we see it's 40M3, and we as well can actually tag these ones as well. We can throw it into the existing calling word, and let's go ED, and if we go OK, it's in, added them as well. And let's actually do one more. Let's do CCU, and there's no papers and only the title. So if we were to, I kind of see that there's palliative. So if we go essentially, I'm just spelling that wrong. Palliative. Then we find that there's actually 8 papers that are related towards that. So we can as well basically tag these as well, throw it into the existing column. We want to append the values, and then if we go OK, what we then have is we then have that word. Now, what we can do there now is we can actually right-click on the word, and we can go View Chart Enhance. And then this allows us to actually quantify the literature. So from this, it's actually showing how many total references there are. So if we were to basically turn off the null values and go show the values and show the percentages, we then can actually kind of start to quantify the entire literature. And here we were just looking at basically a word. The last thing that we can do is if we were to essentially search for papers that are related towards basically BMC, and we can type in journal here, and if we kind of click on one of these papers, we can actually basically click on download, and the software will actually try to actually download the full text of the for that like kind of rough reference. So it takes about 20 seconds per reference, and then as we can see, the paper has actually just kind of showed up over on the right hand side as well. What you can do is you can actually like kind of hit launch external viewer, and that will actually basically launch the paper in whatever viewer you're wanting to work with. You can highlight and you can like kind of actually make comments as well. And then as well though, once you've done that, you then can just go import highlighted text, and that will actually import whatever comments or highlighted text you've made. One more fast way for actually doing this is when you're heading through applying your inclusion exclusion, you can go like kind of include, exclude, and then along the side there's actually like kind of a column for that. And then if you hit download all papers, what the software will do is it will actually go out and retrieve all of the included papers, so that a person doesn't have to go one by one and hit download. So we can then kind of see that the software is actually kind of starting to retrieve all of these included papers, and then like I said, it takes about 20 seconds of paper. So that's kind of a little fast overview of the software